Look!
Listen.
And
Taylor! Oh, yeah, sick.
Welcome, everyone, to Look, Listen with Geese and Guyera, also Taylor.
How's it going, Geese?
This is a Hello, Geese. This is a podcast about Pokemon and other things. It is episode 105, and unfortunately, because of last week's 104 point, I can't stop thinking 105 point Horizons 57.
Aw, sick.
Giving you the Terapagos and the Charcadets. We discuss the Pokemon anime, Horizons, and other things here. And unfortunately, although we did joke about Geese being here, she is not here today.
Sorry, Geese.
That poor girl. There's nothing more core to her than that she doesn't like Pokemon battles, but she loves history. So she's gonna...
I was laughing so hard the whole episode.
She's gonna do the episodes with all the battling and then miss the just history of Paldea, the history teacher, the historian. Oh, she would have loved this
I was
episode.
even watching it, and I was like, minor spoilers, but there's Gimme Ghoul in the episode, and I was thinking, okay, well, that's fine, because there will probably be Goldango, and Geese hates Goldango, so at least she'll miss that. Nope, just adorable Gimme Ghoul the whole episode.
God, his little smirk, she would have loved it. Remember when he was spoilers? Remember when he was spoilers in the treasure chest?
He was. He looked so spoilers when he was doing. Oh, that was adorable.
Little. Oh, God. All right, guys. The first segment, Clambos, listen up. The first segment of the week is, of course, Geese. What's new with Geese? What you been geesing?
What's geesing with you, Geese?
All right, Geese Peep, thank you very much.
Thank you, Geese.
Moving right along to watching, playing, eating of the week. Taylor, have I got a video game for you? If you are about to tell me you've never played this game. Have you ever played the video game Jean d'Arc?
No, I haven't. I saw ads for that, though.
Girls, it's the best day of your life, to be honest.
Oh, sick.
They just added it to PlayStation Plus. It is a PlayStation Classic released on the PSP. It is a tactical RPG. The highest review scores imaginable.
Really?
Anime crazy cutscenes. It's made by your boys who made Dark Cloud, so it's the most Factor 5 looking game in the world.
Fantastic.
You're gonna love this game. You're gonna love it.
Let me download it right now via my fully functioning PlayStation app.
Ooh.
That's right.
Jean d'Arc.
Is it just... Whenever I used to see that game advertised, I would always imagine that the dialogue would be in italics, because it's supposed to be French.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They're speaking English in our version.
Sick.
But everybody has a French name, like Pierre and Jacques and Jean. I was thinking about seeing the film Twisters. I could have seen it on Wednesday for the early screenings, but I didn't end up seeing it. I suppose mainly on account of I did not finish Twister. So I should probably finish Twister before watching Twisters in the IMAX. I fell asleep when they were at some house eating breakfast. So
it's such a famous scene. So that movie is so delightful because it does the thing that the 90s do where it's like, oh, if you've got money and like a fancy shiny car that you wash, you're probably evil. And if you like dirty forks getting into your biscuits and gravy, you're probably a good old guy. It's great.
Why the fork have to be dirty?
Because that's how it is on the farm. That's how life is.
You can clean a fork on the farm.
Well, no, you can't. Not on this farm.
Also, what could you possibly have to say in the middle of dirty fork talk?
I have so much to say about Twister because it's such like getting revenge on the tornado that killed her father. It's such a good, spoilers. It's such a good premise, and having evil storm chasers. Like, they were in a room, they were pitching this, and they said, and there are gonna be evil scientists who are trying to track the weather, but they're evil. And they were like, yep, make them all drive the same black car and we're good.
Well, girls, you're probably wrong about whatever you said because, of course, Taylor was, in the new segment, Taylor was wrong again. you said the wrong character. Quicksilver pushed out of the way, so...
Listen, you put Hawkeye and Robert Downey Jr. in a room together, and I can't tell the difference.
Fact checkers. Make sure whatever Taylor said is correct. But next week I'll probably have seen Twisters, and I'll tell you how that movie is. Moving on to my eating of the week, I had, thanks to Rocco Bodie of Mega64, known food influencer. People magazine did call him a food influencer, by the way, Taylor.
They did.
Yes.
Really.
I went to... somewhere that I've been near 1,000,000 times and never eaten there. It's called Koreatown Pizza Company, and I had a bulgogi pizza with sweet potato-filled crust. It was okay. It was not as good as I was led to believe.
But you're not like a big sweet potato guy, right?
Here's the thing. That was actually the best part, and I do not like sweet potatoes. So it's been a couple weeks of some wild yams and sweet potato nonsense, because I had the ube malasada last week, and I had the golden crust bulgogi pizza this week. So we're going crazy here.
These are all just steps on your journey to becoming a real red bean fanatic.
Nah, give me them delicious maple and margarine tamago pan any day of the week. God, I need some tamago pan. Girls,
you're going to say I need some margarine.
Make my own tamago pan. I need my tamago pan. But it's so expensive over here. I stocked up on tamago pan earlier this week, and the bill was $40. And I said, I can't afford $40.
How many does $40 get you in this economy?
I can't even begin to tell you how few tamago pan you get for $40 in these United States. But I will finally, next time I go to Japan, I will finally do what I intended, which is empty suitcase, go to Don Quixote, fill it full of tamago pan. Because I can get a bag of tamago pan over there for probably 400 yen, as opposed to over here, it's $9. Oh, my God.
So I've got a little tip for you. This is what I did in Thailand.
Taylor's Thailand tips
of Tuesday. It's not even close to the day. What I did when I went over there is I packed a suitcase just with a little bit of clothes. Thailand's real cheap, so I was counting on buying most of my clothes there. But I put a 120-liter bag into my suitcase, and I just filled that up with a whole bunch of extra stuff and brought it back over.
That's exactly what Geese Peep suggests. She's a member of this podcast, not here, guess she's busy. Oh,
doing big stuff.
Jet set in life, always going somewhere. I never finished my eating of the week, but I also went to Taco Bell to try the new... I like how I say I went to Taco Bell because, like, I have so many Taco Bell fire points, it's insane. But I went and I tried the new Cantina Chicken Cheesy Street Chalupas, which were okay. They're fine. Too expensive for me to order on a regular basis, but if you are someone that is like me, God, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Hopefully not. Hopefully I didn't say this last week. If you're someone that's like me and you need to try all the new menu items, you're not going to say it's gross. You're going to say, all right, that was pretty good. A little dry, so I'm glad I had my free Chipotle sauce from my Nacho Fry Pass, which gives me the free Nacho Fries and Chipotle sauce every single day at Taco Bell. And finally, Taylor, thank goodness gracious, Costco has finally dropped a new packaged cold brew flavor because their Kirkland signature brand cold brew, no good. The Starbucks bottled cold brew they had, I wasn't that crazy about it. But now they have something called Wandering Bear, straight black cold brew, extra concentrated, all the milligrams of caffeine you could possibly ever want.
Very organic.
Yeah.
Look at that recyclable box. I hate theirs, but I love that coffee presentation.
It's actually very good, which is great news for me. I love packaged cold brew. I love bottled coffee. You could go to Japan and trip over black bottled coffee, and that's all I want in my life. I want a refrigerator stocked full of this stuff. But in the United States, it is so hard to find black, unsweetened, packaged bottled coffee. You can find little dessert bottles, the Starbucks Frappuccino things full of flavors and cream and sugar. You can find those everywhere. You can find energy drinks and soda everywhere. But it is such a struggle to find packaged black cold brew. So thank goodness. A little expensive, you ask me. It's about the same price as going to Starbucks. And considering I went to Costco, I would have thought, and this is which I'm per ounce. I was thinking going to Costco would be cheaper. Maybe the coffee is stronger, though. The packaging leads me to believe it is stronger.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was marketed as concentrate or not.
Let me read what it says. It says,
start with the ingredients.
So much coffee, organic coffee was used to make the... What? Take two. So much Take three. So much organic coffee was used to make this cold brew that each serving has approximately 150 milligrams of caffeine. Each serving.
Okay, so it's like almost triple a cup of coffee per serving.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I think so. You know what? Do fact checkers. Correct me on that.
Fact checkers. But anyway, it's pretty good. Yeah, that concludes my watching, playing, eating of the week. Now time for Taylor's watching, playing, eating of the week.
I'm still getting over the fact that I confused Hawkeye and Iron Man. Because in my mind, I know I'm wrong, but my brain's just like, you remember Robert Downey Jr. saying, "Oh, you got me, kid," or something like that. So I watched a film called The Boys from Brazil. I was going to go watch Longlegs with Eric, and somehow, I don't know what happened.
He found out there was AI in it, so he wouldn't see it.
It was just one of those days where I was like, I don't feel like going down 2 more flights of stairs. The elevator's still broken and my back is in shambles. So we watch The Boys from Brazil. Now, I don't even know where to begin about this film, but it has Gregory Peck and Laurence Olivier as the leads.
Laurence Olivier, huh?
It got so many award nominations. And it's so ridiculous. Every scene is a ridiculous comedy. I don't know how to say. It is ridiculous and hilarious, and it's not supposed to be. I'm watching this, and all of the scenes are like, this is a comedy, right? This is clearly a comedy. What a mess. And the movie ends really suddenly, and it's something else. It's definitely something else. Bunch of Oscar nominations.
To move on to Elden Ring or Bloodborne. Or honestly, any Miyazaki game, girls. Go ahead.
Any Miyazaki DLC. So, I've been playing more Shadow of the Erd Tree. It's still fun. It's still a little bit empty for me, but it's good. It's good.
I haven't touched it, and I don't want to. I was walking the other day, and I thought, wait, do I just not like Elden Ring?
Okay.
I have no desire to play this.
The weirdest thing happened to me, too, because I beat Elden Ring. I loved Elden Ring, but I spent so much time with it, and I was like, when I finally beat the last boss, I was like, that's good. I don't need the New Game Plus this or anything.
Me neither.
So
I said I platinumed it.
You bought the DLC. You bought the DLC.
It.
Right? Did you platinum the first one?
I said I platinumed it.
Oh, that's sick.
And then I bought the DLC.
Okay, so you bought the DLC. You said you played for 5 minutes and then stopped. What did anything feel different?
I beat the first boss, Lionhead, recall.
Oh, nice.
And then I didn't know what to do next. So
yeah, this one is it's a very different vibe.
Although maybe this has something to do. I feel like last time when I played Elden Ring, I was doing fewer things. It seems like there's always something I gotta do every day. And I try to walk more too, and there's never time to play it. It's just the idea of turning it on doesn't sound appealing to me.
I'm in the same boat, so I was trying to kind of get your perspective on it, because it's I like it.
But it's what I said before, I think has a lot to do with it, where
path.
Yeah, I'm not into aimless, whereas when I played Elden Ring proper, it was a few months after because of PS5 troubles. Mm-hmm. So I'd already looked up guides on, I want that sword. What is the quickest way for me to mainline it to that sword? And that's what I did.
So the big thing that I don't like, and I was thinking about this last night, because I was looking up how to unlock some weapon or something that looked interesting to me. I locked myself out of It had to have been close to all of the NPC quest lines.
In the main game?
No, in Shadow of the Erdtree, just for exploring. And I don't like the fact that you're punished for exploring in this game. It's very rough. Very rough.
Also, there's no trophies in the DLC, so it's kind of...
Oh, that's kind of liberating for me then.
Well, some people don't like their 100% metric being goofed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, from what I've heard, the DLCs in From Software games contain the most difficult bosses. So let's say you liked your platinum, but then you couldn't beat a boss in the DLC. Now you don't have to worry about it. You still got a platinum.
I'm surprised they were allowed to release it without any trophies.
Well, they're From Software, so they got more pull. Clearly, a conversation happened. Clearly, so Bloodborne DLC does have trophies, and that's because it's published by Sony, so Sony has more. Sony owns the Bloodborne IP, okay?
Right.
Sony owns the Bloodborne IP, so they would have more sway in saying, hey, From Software, you gotta add trophies to the DLC. But From doesn't like doing trophies in DLC. All their other games, DLC does not have trophies, because they don't want it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that. Okay.
They're not a fan of it.
So I got Eric to start playing Bloodborne, because he had played it for a little bit, and then he stopped. He got very mad when he was fighting against the Living Failures boss, which is kind of comical. There's the DLC rating. A lot of people like Artorias of the Abyss. A lot of people like the DLC from Dark Souls 3, which I haven't gotten to play. People are really speaking very, very highly of Shadow of the Erdtree. The more I play Shadow of the Erdtree, the more I think, I just wish I was playing the old Hunters again. And that's a DLC from Bloodborne. It is incredible. Because, like, the weird thing is, my favorite FromSoft game is Sekiro. Love Sekiro. The last boss fight of that game is unparalleled in my book. But the game that I want to play again more is Bloodborne.
You'll get a Bloodborne remake or sequel. It'll happen.
Yeah.
But what this sorry to go back to trophies. What this tells me is that From Software, somebody in the decision-making process, does not like trophies. And you said you're surprised they're allowed to not have trophies? That's a clause. You don't have to have trophies. If you release a video game, you have to have trophies. So clearly they went, fine, we'll add trophies. Probably in their mind, I don't know if it's Miyazaki himself or somebody on that team just is saying, that's not why I'm making these games. I'm not making it so you get the trophy, which a lot of people enjoy. Maybe he doesn't, clearly.
That's how it was in Nier Automata. You could just, like, the guy hated trophies so much that towards the end of the game, you can just buy the trophies. Which
that is very
it's very hilarious.
They have trophies in the store. I like that. That's funny.
It's great. Great game. Everybody should play it. As far as eating goes, I haven't really been doing much exciting eating lately.
Yeah, you're always eating onion soup and mac and cheese. Come on, girls.
So I did. All right, listen.
Go to the donut shop and eat a strawberry-filled cruller or something.
I just okay. I was actually talking about this pretty recently. So I binge eat, right? That's my thing. And there are certain like when I want to eat something unhealthy, it's a real cheat day kind of vibe. I just want to pile in as much food as I can.
He goes to town.
Normally very, very healthy mindset with eating, but on my cheat days, go crazy. I can't imagine going to a store, ordering one donut, eating it, and just being good. And just being like, okay, I don't need to have 18 more of those.
No, just get one butter and salt.
I did do that, huh? At the film. That's a good donut, though. That's an exceptional donut. So I made some onion soup a while ago. Now, was it 3 weeks ago? I don't know. Was it 4 weeks ago? That sounds about right. I reduced what I had left a ridiculous amount, and now I take a few spoonfuls and add it to macaroni and cheese. And it is very good. I recommend it if you ever have some extra onion soup laying around.
Everybody, grab your extra onion soup real quick, please. Do whatever Taylor just said to do. All right. Are we prepared to move on?
I certainly see the cursor there.
Are we prepared for the next segment of the week?
Poke news of the week.
Guys, I'm sorry. I was scrolling Cerebi for a second here, but I'm not seeing a lot of good Poke news of the week. Okay, here's something for you. Hey, Cerebi update of the week.
Hey, Joe Cerebi, what you got for me?
Pokemon Sleep's gonna give all the players a gift to celebrate the first anniversary. You get sleep points, main skill seed, and more. Go to cerebi.net for more details.
What are those? What is a main skill seed?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? How about you learn a new skill?
Oh.
What murders? And also, the final song for Pokemon featuring Hatsune Miku, Project Voltage, is now live. It's called Champion by Canaria. Girls, do you remember when we went to the Evo Championships and they gave us the lanyards and they did not say championship?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What'd they say? Champions?
Championships.
Championships?
They didn't have the P.
Oh, we have so many Evo stories. Actually, okay, we're going to save a couple Evo stories for question of the week. Sorry, Geese. Keep sending a question, but we're going to have more fun talking about a couple Evo stories than her question. So
Phrase it. What is your favorite Evo story?
Geese? Yeah. Thanks, Geese. Okay, we have now concluded Poke News of the Week, everyone, which means it's now time to discuss an episode of Pokemon. Taylor, you're going to have to do quite a bit right now. You're gonna
I'm ready for heavy lifting.
You're going to have to tell me what happened last week. You're going to have to tell me the name of the episode in English.
That one's going to be tricky.
What? I wrote them down right here. Two translations here.
I see it.
Then I'm going to tell you the name in Japanese. Then you're going to give me a Geese Peeps one-sentence synopsis. So please, what happened last time on Pokes?
Previously on Pokemon, the twerps have all finished their entrance battles. Did they fail? Did they pass? Was grading on the table?
Why do you do vague for last week? Just be.
I can't.
You have
to write both of them. It's not my fault.
Use question marks for what we're gonna talk about and be definitive for last week. Why is it a mystery what we already know?
I don't know why I do that. I think it's because every time I say previously on Pokemon, I think previously on Lost. And there's no narration in previously on Lost. It's just a couple little snippets of the show.
It's just Sawyer saying, son of a...
Yeah, rewatch that show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
So previously, the three main characters finish their entrance exams and fighting against the Elite Four.
And what's the name of this episode in English?
Episode name? That's how people talk. That's how humans talk. The episode name is A Terapagos I Don't Know. Or... I had never known.
Yeah, a Terapagos
I had never known.
We're just trying to translate the Japanese phrase, or in Japanese. And are you about to be proud of me? I'm about to read two kanji off the top of my head here.
Oh, yes.
Or in Japanese, 私の知らないテラパゴス.
Oh.
So 私の知らない. So 私の my 知らない. No, I know. It means I don't know. Terapagos. Shiranai.
Whenever I hear Shiranai, it makes me think of the song Odd Loop by Frederick, because the way the singer sings that is sick.
Shiranai. This is now a kanji learning podcast.
Everybody go watch Odd Loop. It's a great music video.
Taylor's Music of the Minute. Music Minute of the wee. Taylor, what is your... God, I want to just explain all the kana to you. Taylor, what happened this... Give me a Geese Peep one-sentence synopsis of the week, please.
We finally are maybe going to learn if Terapagos is a thing that's known in history. That's the worst. That's not even close to what I wrote.
Well, just read what you wrote.
Okay. Finally, Well, no, because see,
Oh
I do it backwards.
my God!
I do it backwards. I do vague for the recap and specific for the preview. What can we possibly learn about Terapagos from the headmaster himself?
Oh my God. I'm just going to start talking about what happened in the episode. And here's an inside joke for any of you Japan heads that like going to Japan. Caesarea opening. Eh? Get
Oh,
it, Taylor? Caesarea is a little chain of family restaurants in Japan. It's Italian food.
Oh,
It's not great food, but they have a drink bar like most places, like a Denny's.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my God, guys. They open on such a spread. We got pizza, salad, juice, fruit salad, bread, spaghetti, and a giant pile of Pokemon food. Oh man, it is time to celebrate these children having completed all these tasks. And my mouth's watering just looking at this.
It's such a funny layout because one, Sprigatito is not eating at the adult table.
Well,
so just has
her
to
name is Florigato,
I even wrote Florigato. So Florigato is eating at the children's table, not at the adult table. So she's just towering over everybody. And in this scene, we see something we haven't seen before. Cap is pigging out. Fuecoco is eating calmly and reservedly.
Interesting. We got the whole Rising Voltacular squad here. It seems like it's been a long time. And Roy, in the Japanese fashion, orders an orange juice. He just yells it out like you do in Japan. Onji juice hitotsu. And then they all talk for a while about how they feel, about all these accomplishments. Everybody's crying. Everybody's consoling is not the correct word, but they are definitely talking to these children about what they've done.
Celebrating,
yeah. And then Fritos, out of nowhere, says he's going to go to the school, the Orange Academy, Naranja Academy, after the meal.
Question. Everybody freaks out when he says that, and that just, I didn't understand why.
My next sentence does say, he made an appointment with Clavel and Gita, ! Everyone screams for some reason.
Ah, sick. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if somebody said to you, I made an appointment in the principal's office with your principal and the head of the Pokemon League, you may be a little concerned, but not enough to warrant everybody screaming. So yeah,
including the adults.
Must make sense in Japanese because it didn't make sense to me.
The weird thing is that those two are the most accessible heads of education I've ever seen in my life. They're just wandering around, hanging out with the students.
Well, then we cut to the brave Olivine. We have so many names for the ship they live in that I don't even know where to begin. The Salami is in the shipyard, and we see Sinistea, Poltegeist, Pomo with Ludlow. I forgot about these guys. It's been so long since I've seen these Pokemon.
Yeah.
Go ahead and correct me because I have to keep this line in my head, and it's the most... we've been over it, Taylor, I know. But Pami, Pomo, Pomot, the most confusingly named series of Pokemon in English and Japanese, because some of the Japanese names are the English names, but for a different Pokemon in the line. So it's like Pami, Pomo, Pomot, but then it's in Japanese Pomo, Pomoto, Pomo, Pomoto. I can't with these guys.
They wanted to match the level of confusion that people would have with the actual designs of them, too.
They all look identical, too. I can't with these Pokemon.
Imagine if Rattata was like, evolve into larger Rattata.
Yeah, Rattata. Well, anyway, Ludlow finds a Gimmighoul coin. That's very exciting. He gives a little proverb about emotion and history, and the coin disappears. Theme song. Oh, my God, we're getting a Gimmighoul episode. My boy and yours, Gimmighoul. All right.
I love Gimmighoul.
He's great. He's wonderful. Then we cut to directly into the principal's office. It's time for the meeting. Taylor,
yes.
I've got a brilliant idea. Let's show Terapagos to even more people. Now, before out of all the people to show Terapagos to, these two probably safe bets.
I agree, but the thing is, they all are abundantly aware that the explorers have infiltrated the school staff.
Wait.
They certainly know about Sandwich and Rock Salt. Yeah, Onigiri. I think they know about the other professor.
I think they have suspicions about Chelsea. Whatever, how you pronounce it. But have the kids not told Clavel, hey, do you know you... Now, Clavel, remember, we had that whole scene with Clavel talking to... Clavel knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'll tell you what's interesting about this scene. It sounds as if when Geeta's talking about Terapagos, she's using language that makes it sound like there are indeed multiple Terapagos out there.
Correct.
I was picturing him more as a legendary there's only one of, but apparently there's Terapagos.
I was like, oh, you mean Mew? Yeah, that's how I was picturing Terapagos.
Very interesting. Anywho, they can't believe it. Terapagos in real life. Holy moly, pull up the old records on the TV. Turns out, everybody, Terapagos was seen in Paldea in the past.
It was very funny when Geeta saw Terapagos and yelled out, like, is that a Terapagos? And Terapagos just starts nodding its head up and down.
Pago! That was good. And look, here's a picture of Terapagos in his Terestal form. You remember he did that against Shiny Rayquaza. Everybody was there.
I definitely remembered that, and I didn't even need the recap to show me what that looked like because I had seen it and remembered it.
That's now we're getting to stuff I really like. Normally I give a little spoilers on how I feel about an episode. Today is a little late of a spoiler, but you start talking about Area Zero and the Great Crater, we're pumping up the score.
Same for me, because this is doing exactly what I think they want to do, and I occasionally mention it with my inconsistent reviews. As soon as I saw a picture of the Great Crater, I started charging my Switch.
It ought to just sit in your little dock, so it's already ready to go. Oh, guess what they're releasing 45 years into the Switch life cycle they just announced?
A screen light, a screen magnification attachment.
Something to charge your Joy-Cons and charge your these guys.
That's... way to go. Way to go, Nintendo.
For audio listeners, when I say these guys, I'm pulling out the little NES controller. I have the Famicom ones too. But those ones you can't just you can't just plug in a USB-C cable like you can for the Super Nintendo controllers and the other controllers. You literally have to attach them to a Switch. So mine are always dead. And now, right at the end of the life cycle, they're going to introduce a way to charge those. It's reasonably priced, so I'm going to pick up a couple of them.
That's the same timeline that the PlayStation 4 Pro add-on had.
Oh, yeah. The one that tried to make it into... Yeah, I have mine somewhere here. The one that gives it back buttons or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good attachment, but it just came at the very, weirdest timing.
So in this scene, I was cracking up because Geeta's showing all this information about Area Zero, and Captain Pikachu, the Pokemon, stares at this information with such intensity and just says, he just says, Pika. And I was losing it. Also brought up is the Scarlet Book, and Dot runs over to her backpack and says, I have it right here. Oh my God. They start talking about Rakua. We talk about the Stellar Form again.
What we should be talking about is how quickly and sickly Geeta flipped through those pages and instantly found the page she was looking for. Just, and then just holding it up.
Yeah, so she's a pro. Now, when I hear the word sickly, I do not picture cool. I picture Victorian child.
I only said it because it rhymed with quickly.
Yeah, it was perfect. It's fine. Roy, I don't know if it was Roy, but let's attribute this to Roy. Roy says, that's it, guys. We're going to Area Zero. I'm ready. Fuecoco, let's go. Now, unfortunately, there have been some dangerous accidents, but Geeta will take you down there eventually. Don't worry about it. But first, before we do anything, I need to introduce you kids to someone who knows even more about all this. Oh, who could it be? I was so excited for some crazy character, and then it's just, it's the history teacher. I guess that checks out. Right for it. Everybody loves her.
She is very sick.
She has a Zoroark, which, spoilers, this little prankster Zoroark is going to get us all into a lot of confusion. Zoroark, of course, has the ability sort of like Ditto. It's not transformed, but he just looks like a different Pokemon. We've actually discussed this in the past. Zoroark can look like other Pokemon, so it turns into a Terapagos, and everybody is confused. They take this 3-second scene of him turning into a Terapagos, and they name the whole episode after it?
They also...
This is not the theme of the episode.
It's very weird, because even if it was the theme, there's no meat behind that. It's just like, oh, it's a goof.
I would have named it something else. That's just me. But then Zoroark transforms into Captain Pikachu. Real Cap, not pleased at all by this. He's a little annoyed. And then he jumps on Zoroark, or she. I think it's a she. I think she says she. Zoroark jumps on Frito's back. And if I was Frito's, I would have said, guys, can you, please.
Keep your pet.
Please.
Partner. What? Okay, question. If it was looking like Captain Pikachu, which was my assumption, is it jumped onto Frito's because it was like, ooh, look, I'm like Cap. If it transforms into Captain Pikachu, does it weigh the same as much?
Clearly.
The same as much as Captain Pikachu?
Clearly, because you'll recall, spoilers, later he's going, I keep saying he, Zoroark, the girl Zoroark is going to illusion itself into Gimmighoul.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on Fuecoco's nose. So clearly the weight changes as well, which is interesting.
You know, the explorers they could make so much use of Zoroark.
Zoroark could just turn into a Wailord. Could just turn into, oh my god. It could turn into like Eternamax Eternatus and take over the world or something.
You know, it could also, if Amaranth had a Zoroark, just turn into Liko, say, oh, Terapagos, come here, and then just leave and the show's over.
Girls, you're missing 3 syllables whenever you say Zoroark. You say Zoroark, like your boy who works he's a longshoreman down by
he's a bark type Pokemon.
Zoroark?
She's a bark type Pokemon. Zoroark.
Okay, guys, moving along. The history teacher Ryfort says, hey, you kids are students here, right? And they say, yeah, and here's our adult friend, Fritos. Geese would have got such a kick out of this scene. It's always funny when they're like, yeah, here's our friend. Us children and the grown man over here. Very funny. Very good stuff. All right, children, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out for some field work, and we're going to find some ancient treasure. And I believe she flips a Gimmighoul coin in this very moment, which leads us to the commercial break. We're back from the commercial break.
What's her name again?
Ryfort.
Ryfort. I hope she's a character moving forward because her design is very cool.
Yeah, she's got wild jewelry, too. Then we cut to everybody walking by some woods, going on about Lucius, the 6 heroes, Rakua, Terapagos. Apparently, there's an old niche history book all about Rakua, but no time for that because we hear the treasure. Sounds like some Gimmighoul coins to me. And Roy rushes over with Fuecoco. It's the roaming form Gimmighoul. Taylor, you're going to love this. Here's what happens next. I don't even think you realized what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Fritos begins to give Pokemon Go lore. Because you cannot catch roaming form Gimmighoul in Scarlet and Violet. You can only catch roaming form Gimmighoul in Pokemon Go. So very interesting.
Huh.
Roy tries to catch it, but it, of course, runs away. It leaves a coin, though. And then, oh my god, here it is on Fuecoco's head. No, we're fooled again. I was fooled. I'm not too proud to admit it. I did not realize that Gimmighoul on Fuecoco's head was not Gimmighoul. It was Zoroark the whole time. I've egg on my face. Thanks a lot.
I, Aegon, have made a mistake.
Oh my! Everybody, it's time to find some coins. That's the big. That's what we're doing today. That's the. What do you call the old task?
The lesson for the children is to get them very excited about money.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody accepts those coins though. You need 1,000 of them to evolve Gimmighoul into Goldango, but I don't know if it's actual valid currency.
I wonder what their currency's based on.
Polka dollars?
Like if it's not based on gold, because Gimme Ghoul coins are just gold, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what their standard is, but it appears to be the Pokemon economy. They share a global currency. It's polka dollars and everything,
which is arbitrarium. That's what I'm going to call it.
Although a lot of the newer games like Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, they have an additional currency, BP. Is that what it's called, right? BP.
Oh, yeah.
You can also use that to buy things in addition to making TMs and stuff. But anyway, we cut to a scene of a flock of Swablu flying by. Geese would have loved that too. And then we get to PowerPoint presentation of the week. Everybody's searching for coins. You got your classic Disneyland music. Frito sees a Seviper. That's terrifying. And then Terapagos spots some ancient ruins. And he leads them to Anacly, the salt Pokemon, and a snoozing Charcadet. Oh, what an adorable scene. Geese would have loved this.
I wanted Charcadet to take such a, to front and center should have been Charcadet.
I thought it was going to be the way the next time on Pokemon. I thought it was going to, but no, Charcadet's kind of a small part of this. Charcadet rides Terapagos around. It's adorable. Everybody says, oh my God, how cute. Nackley says hi to Liko. Everybody's getting along so well. We get more history lessons about how, you see, thousands of years ago, both of these Pokemon, Nackley and Charcadet, they worked with humans for centuries.
Until now, they work with humans.
Oh, look, everybody. Roy found all the coins. Captain Pikachu is a bit suspicious about this. Why does Roy have a hat full of coins? Why do the rest of us not have any coins? So then Rhyhorn gives another history lesson about the watchtower in the distance. You see, children, Geese would have loved this. Paldea used to be multiple countries, just like real Spain and Portugal.
Oh.
Exactly. And then Roy sees the watchtower. He says, Kilowattrel, I choose you. Look.
The look on Kilowattrel's face, is it just I don't know what's happened, but ever since San Diego, I love birds. Birds are just so aloof, and they're just always doing their own thing. And when Kilowattrel looks at the tower and just goes, I was laughing.
Geese is a big bird brain. She loves birds, too. Bird podcast over here.
No, she would have loved this.
Yeah. What was I talking about? Hey, look, Kilowattrel. You lived in one of those, remember? Remember the watchtower? And we get a Kilowattrel, like Taylor said, goes, Meh. And then we get a very dramatic speech by Rhyhorn. And Roy flies up to the watchtower with Kilowattrel and Fuecoco. Rhyhorn and Zoroark will also go. I'm imagining that the Zoroark transformed into a flying Pokemon. Who's to say?
I mean, they just started running.
And then Charizard's going to carry everyone else. Literally everyone else. So many Pokemon and human on this Charizard.
Someone has to fill in for the Great Salami.
I don't know if I made it clear, but everybody is here. It's Roy, Dot, Liko, all their main Pokemon. You guys know. You get the drill. You understand. You know the drill. You don't get the drill.
No one in Pokeballs. Just throw them all on Charizard.
Yeah. And they make it to the top. What a view. Oh my God, look, it's a chest form Gimme Ghoul. Now this one you can catch in Scarlet. The kids don't even realize. Fuecoco rushes in, opens the chest to find Gimme Ghoul and a ton of coins.
So cute.
What an hysterical, cute little guy. He's got the littlest smirk, and then he psychically forces Roy to pour all of his hat coins into the Gimme Ghoul chest.
I was cracking up with how deliberately Roy moves over there.
It was a very funny. And then the Gimme Ghoul straight jumps off the watchtower. That is a very protective case because no damage is done to the Gimme Ghoul. It just full drop from the top.
Yep.
Okay. And then now get a reward for the collecting coins gameplay. Rhyhorn gives us a full plot cutscene. Children, the legend says that 100 days and 100 nights away lies Pink Rakua, a paradise for Pokemon, full of Requiem, and the wind is blowing in her hair as we see images of the past. before the Paldean Empire. Ooh, so sick. The flashback of Lucius with Terapagos in his Terestal form. Does he remember being with Lucius 100 years ago? So
what is it that triggered this flashback?
Rhyfort talking about the past.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was some kind of group hallucination thing, and I was so confused.
I believe it's a combination of just a story Rhyfort's telling and maybe Terapagos having a memory of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Rhyfort just wants the kids to realize how fun history can be. We get a very good screenshotable moment. God, another thing for Geese to miss this episode, we got 150,000 great screenshot moments for this. I don't know what the thumbnail's going to be.
I hope next week's episode is just a battle tower.
Oh, please. 100 floors of battle. Then we cut to the next morning. All sorts of students are in the yard with Dendra and Clavel. And unfortunately, guys, bear with me, they put a lot of tiny Pokemon on the screen, and you know how this podcast works. Somebody out there has got to catalog every single Pokemon that appears in this anime. So somebody's got to do it. Might as well be me. We see a Fletchling, Sobble, Riolu, Froakie, Rowlet, Togedemaru, Bonsly, Weedle, Alolan Vulpix, Trapinch, Roserade, Darumaka, Scraggy, Duat, Nidoran Female, Psyduck, Bulbasaur, Espeon, Ducklet, Chimecha, Whismur. Kids, it's time for the next task. Go to the towns, battle the gym leaders. It's going to be double battles. You're going to terrestrialize. Got it? All the info's in your app, okay? You kids got it? Taylor, Roy's going to battle Rhyme and Montenerva. It's actually Montenevera, but I've said Montenerva my whole life, so I don't think it's going to change now. Montenevera. Roy, of course, has history with Rhyme. Rhyme and Roy had a bunch of fun with the Ghost Forest the other day.
No reason.
You remember.
Nice.
Got him.
Nice.
Got him. You remember all that. And Dot is going to battle Larry and Medali. Everybody loves Larry. He's got a suit. Liko is going to battle Grusha in Glossiado Mountain.
I feel like Liko really got the short end of the stick, because she's just fighting this person who's clearly like battle obsessed or something, like very critical of battles, and it's just a Yu Yu Hakusho character.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, did the translation goof, and last week it said rigid, and this week it said frigid in the flashback? Because frigid makes a lot more sense than rigid.
Yes.
For Grusha's character.
I feel like that's right, but I don't know.
We got to tell Geese, because maybe that's going to make more sense to her. Grusha's one of the later gym leaders, or higher level gym leaders.
It seems like it.
Good luck, Liko. All right.
Poor
All right. All right, guys, let's get to it. Medali's the closest. We'll head there first. We see a secret handshake and to be continued. That is the end of the episode. Taylor, take it away with Frito's Seminar of the Week. What happened this week on Frito's Seminar?
So, for Fritos, we got a question. What's Goldango like? I'm doing this from memory. I need to look it up. Give me a second.
Oh, my God. Nope. The question, of course, is about Gimmighoul and its coins and what it's looking for. It's, of course, looking for treasure chests. Legend says they're born in treasure chests, and they're always looking for, I guess, newer ones? Who's to say? Born 1,500 years ago. We get a fun little video of this super fancy rich person room. Gimmighoul is running around looking for the perfect chest and finds it. Meanwhile, Captain Pikachu is in this room looking at all these artifacts on the wall. This is a fantastic little video. It's super short, but there's so much detail on the wall. So many artifacts and sculptures and inspirations of Pokemon. I bet this isn't everything, by the way, but I noticed there's a Delmise. It's not the actual Pokemon. It's just sort of a thing that looks like it.
Right.
Sinistea, Poltegeist, Chandelure, Lampent, Litwick, Sunflora, Bonesweet, a Substitute, a Clefairy. I'm probably missing some, like I said.
So those are all basically a Pokemon in some form or fashion imitating another shape. Like imitation is the theme, because like Chandelure and Sinistea and...
So you're saying the Pokemon it's showing are Pokemon that look like other things.
Or possessing them.
These are the other things. What we see in this room are not Pokemon, but they look like Pokemon. They look
okay.
exactly like the Pokemon. They're dolls and sculptures and whatnot.
Okay, sick.
And that concludes this week's episode. God, we got so much sick stuff in this episode. I can't just keep giving away 9s, but unfortunately, it has to happen. This is an easy 9.3.
It's such a good episode. It covers so much ground, and it did it in such a weird way. Like, they have that kind of exposition dump at the beginning when you're meeting Professor Sick History. Yeah, I'd give it probably 9.1 or a 9.2, just because of the amount of information you get about the series, and it's all disguised behind a little treasure hunt.
Yeah, great. You get the cute moments that we're missing from last week. You get so much cool lore. Actually, this is a bit unprecedented. We have to bump it up to 9.5 because the entire reason I wanted to watch this show is that at the time of this show's release, when it first started, we had more information in the anime than we did the video game. We didn't know anything about Terapagos when this anime started. And now it's giving us more information about these Paldean watchtowers than the game has ever had. So it's building the universe in a way. When you universe build Pokemon, when you have exclusive anime information that then enhances the video game, you get extra points. So it's a 9.5.
I actually agree with you. I'm going to bump it up to a 9.3 for that, because that's a good point. Normally, when they have an anime and some other medium, they're in conflict with as far as their information goes. Where it's like, oh, this is canon in the anime, but in the manga, it was totally different. So I like that they're congruent.
Yeah, great episode. Sorry, Geese Peep. You would have loved it. Oh, well.
She would have, because there's not a single battle in sight.
Oh,
no conflict outside of Gimme Ghoul taking advantage of Roy, and Roy being great with it.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, that was fun.
Yeah, we didn't touch on that much, but so Roy is possessed to collect the coins for Gimme Ghoul, and he gives all the coins away. Everyone else is acting like this is a problem. Roy just says, "See you later, Gimme Ghoul. Thanks for
that was fun.
Thanks for the possession." So it's fun. Wonderful episode. Not much else to say, really. I recommend you all watch it. Wonderful time.
Very good episode.
Poor Geese Peep. So now that means it's time to move on to the wrap-up. Everybody, please you can subscribe or follow, whatever the thing is, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those things, and YouTube, as Geese would say. Look, listen, cast. Go there, please. Please, guys. Please like the video and leave a little comment, please. It makes YouTube send it to way more people if you do that. Also, thank you to Keith for the artwork. You can follow him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared. Taylor?
And thank each and every one of you for the boilerplate. But mainly Professor Ticklebits, who made the boilerplate.
You can follow him on twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. I hope that URL is still correct. Ooh, I hope it's correct.
I hope he changed his name to Professor Boilerplate.
Well, he was Professor Bits for a while and I got confused. Thank you to all our supporters. You can go to looklistencast.com or on the actual podcast feeds. There should be a link to support us. And then please recommend the podcast to your friends, because there's 0 swear words. So there won't be any embarrassing situations where you're listening and somebody says something and then you have to side-eye glance to someone else. It's just not going to happen. Please send questions to looklistencast.com. Sorry, Geese Peep, we're deleting your question about favorite summer-specific snacks because we're going to have to talk about Evo real quick. What said earlier that made me think of Evo, that I needed to say something?
Oh,
Shaming chips.
Oh, yeah. Was that the one that we snuck into?
No, that was years earlier. Okay, just real quick, guys. We're not gonna keep you, but the question of the week from Geese Peep, let's say, is tell us some fun Evo memories. Evo, of course, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. We used to go every single year when Smash was still there, and we competed.
Oh, so sick.
But Smash isn't there anymore, so of course I refused to go. Also, they had a big controversy, but we're not going to cover that. Evo memories. The first time we ever went, we did buy tickets, or we had tickets somehow. But it didn't even matter because we just went in through a side door and just snuck right in. And it was the wildest. Oh, my God. Early Evo when you still got people running around with cash in their hand.
So good.
Taking bets for matches.
I know Filipino Champ did that a bunch.
Yeah, he did. It was so goofballs.
The cool thing was we hadn't gotten into Smash yet because Smash 4 hadn't come out. And I remember talking to you about it. We went there and they were just playing Melee, and I guess they would have been playing Brawl, maybe, or maybe it was just Melee.
Brawl kind of fell out because it was just nothing but Meta Knight, so it was uninteresting.
And just so goofy with like the tripping and everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's not fun to watch. Whereas Melee, you know that they're just giving themselves permanent hand damage when they're playing it. So it's real sick.
Oh my God. When our boy Luffy won it all with the PS1 controller, and Taylor and I were at the very front of the audience, jumping up and down, holding the Frenchman, so excited. Just videos of us celebrating with the teammates of Luffy, like we knew them.
We were so out of place. just the country of France and us two.
Oh, so good. Evo was what a magical thing Evo used to be. Always playing. Taylor met his friend that I don't recall you say his name or not.
Greedy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he was matched up for me to be my Evo competitor, and then huge coincidence, we just saw him at a local Smash thing. He sat down and put in his name, and I said, I think we're playing each other at Evo. Quite the...
That was a weird local, too, because that was when they started doing it at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. So that there had been another one that was like way west down the 10.
And Dice? Is that what that place was called?
Oh, maybe that could have been up the 101. That could have been toward Ventura.
That was a far away. Oh, my God. We had such fun at Evo.
God, Evo was just what a series of years.
Yeah, those were the days. We'd go and eat all these buffets and have all this Las Vegas fun with Steven and Shelly. And Evo, oh my God, Tone Zone.
The finals were so good. We could do a whole episode on Evo.
Man.
But one of my favorite Evo memories outside of my gigantic melodramatic exit during Smash 4.
I forgot about that. Okay, real quick. I'll tell that story. Super Smash Brothers 4, Wii U. Everybody hated Bayonetta because Bayonetta won every single game, much like Meta Knight won every single game in Brawl. And the finals of that year's Evo were just 2 Bayonettas. And as soon as it was announced or as soon as the game started, Taylor dramatically stood up and walked away out of there. And then all these people started following him. And it just was such a series of hilarious videos on the internet. And then that was before they even started. The 2 competitors weren't taking it seriously at all. They had to get warned and all these problems because they were just sitting there holding a button, goofing off for the main finals. I mean, I guess in their defense, if everybody left when the final started, I would have been thinking, oh, okay, whatever, too. And but you're not allowed to do that. So, God, the worst finals of all time.
So good. So even more than that, I have the fondest memory of being in, I think it was either Street Fighter or Smash when they moved us into that kind of tournament setting, right? Where they had the
big
stadium seating.
Arena. Which wasn't the case when we first started going to Evo. That happened in later years.
Yeah, where it became like a big old production.
Yeah, and you had to buy separate tickets, which is silly, but go ahead.
It was silly, but like the change in venue was very cool. So we went with Steven, who had been up since like 5 a.m. with his dog or something, medley running around the yard, and he was completely exhausted. So he was trying to keep himself up as any late 30s human would with a bunch of sugar. So he's sitting there.
He's cotton candy?
What was cotton candy and a jumbo Coca-Cola. And he's sitting there with one in each hand, and he's dressed like an engineer. So it's not, and he's just getting so incredibly exhausted. And the audience at one point completely erupts. Everybody's standing, screaming. Any year we went to Evo, our voices were dead.
And yeah, we had those blue things. You hit them together, the inflatable things went bum, 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 bum.
And Steven, so he had fallen asleep in the crowd, and we both launch up and are making so much noise, and he just does the most Mr. Magoo wake up out of sleep. And he's just like, and he just starts clapping. He just starts clapping immediately.
It's like the video of the old dude who's trying to drive for 5 seconds but falls asleep, and then the passenger wakes up, and the old man blames an invisible driver when really he just couldn't drive for 5 seconds. Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's so funny.
Oh, looking at him in his collared shirt, clapping out of his sleep.
So many fun. I had a great time watching the Sailor Moon Super Famicom finals. That went so hard. That was so hyped. They had cosplayers running around. That was a lot of fun. So many goofy players. Remember the player that like played on his knees or something? He showed his little feet.
Oh, yeah. But he still sat on the chair, right?
I don't know. We have had I forgot about Sleepy Steven. Oh, God. So much fun at Eva.
I'm so happy that I have that image, that like 1.5 second image of him waking up and clapping.
What happened with the one woman when you were trying to get in? She hated you for some reason, always giving you a hard time every time you tried to enter the venue.
Oh, the security person. I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe this was one of the years we didn't buy tickets and we were just sneaking in, like sharing a single pass. But
I could have been. But I remember like getting really, really incredulous and showing her my pass.
Did she just keep digging through?
No, it was bags. Yeah. It was bags. Oh, I forgot about that. And that was the year that everybody online had gone completely nuts. And they were just like, what is this bag check? What is it? So I wasn't the only one. They were just going hard on people with bags.
But never me. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened that year, but I know Taylor always had such issues with his bag. But
it took me like 20 minutes to get in every time.
Yeah, but I never had a bag check. But in terrible news and Evo memories, my beautiful Smash GameCube controller was stolen, and it was the saddest day.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then I went to one of the vendors to see if I could buy another one so I could still play some Smash. They're like $120 for a Smash controller. Meanwhile, you go to Japan, you get actual good condition GameCube controllers from 2001, and they're $15. So come on,
that's wild.
Oh, Taylor and I had such a big argument over GameCube controllers once because he was convinced, I don't know why, he was convinced that Amazon was selling MSRP new Smash controllers or GameCube controllers for like hundreds of dollars. And I said, Taylor, no, that's just a third-party seller selling it for way more. Because it was the
I wasn't super familiar with the idea of, or not the idea, but I wasn't familiar with the resale market at that point.
It were these. What am I, British or strange? It was a white GameCube controller with an extended cord that came out years later. I guess good for playing Smash because you can sit further away. I don't know, but you're still you're still wired, so it's not you can't even use wireless. I'm rambling. Yeah. He paid way too much for his GameCube controller. Thought it was a deal. I said, Taylor, you got ripped off so much. He was like, no, it's normal. It's MSRP. And I said, no. But guys, like I said, like we both said, we have a million Evo memories. Could go on for years. But it's probably time to wrap it on up. Well, actually, we already did the wrap up. But it's probably time to say goodbye. Yeah. Geese is going to say goodbye 3 times. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. That's Geese saying goodbye.
Geese. Such a good episode of Pokemon. Hopefully Geese is back next week. She better be. Can't miss 2 weeks.
Thoughts and prayers.
Can't miss 2 weeks or you're in big trouble. Okay,
she's got to keep her. She has to keep her Southwest Mega Platinum status.
She can record on it. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Enterprises is a Dow 30 company